everyone, it's Amanda. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about the questions that I frequently get asked by new real estate agents. Things like what brokerage is best for a new real estate agent, are there set hours, is everyone commission, and how do you survive your first year financially in real estate if you're not closing many or maybe even any deals. The number one question that I get asked more than any other question is what brokerage is best for new real estate agents? And the answer is, it depends. And the reason it depends is we are all different and we all learn differently. So I personally don't believe that there is a one size fits all, whether you're a brand new agent or you've been doing this for 30 years. It really depends on how you learn and where you're going to feel comfortable to be vulnerable and open to learning. You have to be comfortable in your setting because everything is new to you and you're trying to figure it all out. You're probably just trying to get through the day most days because there's so much to learn. So you want to be comfortable. And that can depend on whether or not you prefer an office setting or if you prefer to work from home and learn virtually. And it also depends on whether or not you're going to be a solo agent or if you're going to be joining a team and maybe they possibly require you to be in an office setting. There are brokerages out there that have training that is designated just for new agents. And some of them, like EXP, has a mentor program where for your first 3 contracts, you are paired with a mentor. And that mentor walks you through the entire contract. They can help you with getting leads. They can help you with marketing. They're really your go-to to sort of get your footing for your first 3 contracts. And then you can go ahead and branch out on your own. Now, does that mean that that's going to work for everyone either? No, it doesn't, because again, that's virtual and it really depends on how you learn and where you're comfortable. The one thing that I tell every new agent is do not get caught up on splits. There's always going to be a cost to learn. Again, whether you're brand new or have been doing this a long time, there's always a cost to learn, and that's an investment in yourself. So many new agents get hung up on, well, I'm going to go with this brokerage because it's 100% commission. But guess what? 100% of nothing is nothing. So if you aren't learning how to get business and how to actually close transactions, that 100% commission does not mean anything. The second question that I get asked frequently is, are all agents commission based? And for the most part, yes, that is going to be the case. When you become a real estate agent, you are becoming an entrepreneur. You are in business for yourself. And yes, you will have to hang your license with a brokerage, but you are still responsible for your business. Nobody's gonna call you in the morning and say, hey, why aren't you at work? You are on your own, growing your own business, and because of that, you are commission-based, and at the end of the year, you will not receive a W-2 because you don't have a salary. You'll receive a 1099. Now, I do think that there may be a couple brokerages out there where you can have some type of salary with a bonus structure, but I don't know enough about them to even comment or go into it. But there are, although they're far less than just being all commission-based, there are a couple options out there that involve some type of salary. Number 3, should I join a team? And if I should, how do I join a team? So joining a team can be great for new agents. It really depends on how you work and what you envision for your business. If you do decide to join a team, you need to understand that you are likely going to be under their processes, their system, their rules, maybe even their quota for how much business you need to produce. So while you still will be a contractor, you will be under that team's umbrella and have to follow their rules and procedures. Not that that's a bad thing. It's not at all. It's a great way to learn the ropes and then establish yourself. But it's not for everyone if you already have in mind how you want your business to look and how you want to run it. If you do want to join a team, then you can simply search different teams in your area and inquire if they're hiring. Not all of them will be hiring. Some are and some are not. And if they are, then you can apply and you would go on an interview. Just be sure if you do go on an interview with a team that it's not just them interviewing you. You need to be interviewing them as well to make sure it's a good fit for everyone and something that's going to be a long-term fit, because turnover, whether it's for the team or for yourself as the agent, it's not good for anyone, and it really puts you behind in terms of growing your business. Do agents make their own hours? Yes, 100% yes. Again, you are in business for yourself. So there's not going to be a boss calling you in the morning saying, hey, why aren't you at work right now? And at the same time, there's not going to be anyone at night saying, hey, it's 5 o'clock, it's time to pack up and get out of here. You create your own schedule as an agent. Be prepared that you are going to work way more than you would at a 9 to 5. And the reason for that is twofold. One, you have to put in more than 9 to 5 hours to get yourself established in the business and get clients contacting you. And also, there's just that much to do, especially when you're new, that you're gonna find that you're working on things constantly. It's every day. I can't name one day in the last 15 years that I haven't done something related to my real estate business. Now, that doesn't mean on some days you might have something to do with your family, and that's the beauty of being in the real estate business. And maybe you work really long hours a few days a week, and then on Thursdays, if you need to go to your son or your daughter's soccer practice, or you need to be home to cook dinner, or whatever the situation is, you certainly can do that. You will be working long hours, but you structure your own schedule. The only time where you might not be able to structure your schedule as much as you would like is when you're working with buyers, and especially the way that the market is now. When a house comes on the market, you really have to go see it right away. And even when the market calms down, when you're working with buyers, you of course have to mirror your schedule to when they're available to see properties. But that doesn't mean that you aren't making your own hours. You still are always going to be making your own hours when you're in real estate. Next question is, do you work from home or do you go to an office? And this depends on the personality type. I personally work from home. I have a home office. I obviously do my videos right in my kitchen here because I like the lighting, and that's just what works for me. But when I first got into real estate, being virtual the way that we are now, thanks to eXp Realty, that wasn't an option. I was with Keller Williams early on in my career for many years, and I was in the office multiple times a week, whether it was for a sales meeting or to meet with my coach at the time. It really just depends on what works for you. I work from home better. I stay more focused, and then I feel like I'm also saving time because I'm not driving to an office. But if you live in a house where maybe your kids need your attention a lot, or your pets are running around and it's chaos and you can't focus on what you're trying to accomplish, then you may be better suited for an office. We have an office. I've been there maybe 2 times, and I do see agents in there working just because that's what works for them, and that's perfectly okay. It's a personal decision on just deciding where you're going to be the most productive. Is there a quota to meet with your brokerage? To my knowledge, there are not brokerages that have any type of sales quota for you to meet. You should have one of those just for yourself though, so that you know how many people you need to talk to in order to accomplish the quota of deals that you would like to close in a year, and then work backwards and break that down to monthly goals. But as far as I know, brokerages as a whole do not have a quota. Now, the one thing that can make that different is if you opt to join a team, the team that you're on, although it may not be required through the brokerage, the team that you are on, they might have a quota for you. And that would be something to discuss if you're interviewing with different teams, is whether or not they expect you to close a certain number of deals. The last question that I'm going to go over, and it's one that I'm asked just as much as which brokerage is best for new agents, it is, how do you survive your first year in real estate financially? And it's tough, y'all. I remember when I was just getting started in real estate, I got licensed in September, closed something in November, closed another one in December, and then I went 6 months without closing anything. And it really is tough, and you've got to be prepared when you are studying to get your real estate license or even thinking about getting into the real estate business. Really take a hard look at your finances and be prepared to not have any income for 6 months. In the current market we're in, I would even say bump that up to 9 or 12 months, because it's very difficult to get closings right now because inventory is so low. But you have to understand that you're not going to close something immediately. And even when you do have your first closing, that doesn't mean you're going to then get a paycheck every 2 weeks or every month or maybe even every 2 months. It just depends on when your closings line up. And there's going to be really high highs and really low lows. It's just the nature of the business. My first year in real estate, I got licensed in September of 2008. So 2009, my first full year. Y'all, I ate black beans and ramen every single week. I cut cost wherever I could. I sold stuff that I didn't really need or wasn't attached to. I walked dogs on the side for the first 2 years I was in real estate to make sure that I had some money coming in. And before I got licensed, I had saved up 6 months of living expenses. And even then, it was super tight my very first year in real estate. It got a little bit better the second year, and then by the third year, it was getting more consistent. But even as you're having closings, make sure that on those months where you close and get $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 in commission, don't spend that money, because then you might have a month or two throughout the year where you don't get a check at all. So you've really got to stay consistent with your budget. Like, I pay myself, even to this day, the same thing every single month. It doesn't matter if I had 5 closings or I had no closings. I pay myself the same amount so that my budget is always healthy. Getting through your first year in real estate financially it's survival mode, and that's okay. Don't be ashamed of that. You are doing something and building for your future that's really hard. And it's hard emotionally, it's hard financially, but stick with it, stick to your budget. And if you have to take side jobs, Uber. I mean, I wish that Uber was around my first year in real estate. I probably would have done that instead of walking dogs. But there are ways to make money, little side hustles here and there that can get some money coming in to keep you going in between your closings. And then just make sure that you continue to generate leads consistently so that you can then track your numbers and determine how many leads you need in order to meet your financial goals. That's it for today. If you're a new agent or you're thinking about getting licensed, I hope that this helps you with the most frequently asked questions that I get. If you have questions of your own, you are always welcome to drop a comment below, or you can send me a DM on Instagram. I'm always happy to answer your questions and help in any way that I can. I hope you found this video useful, and if you did, please consider hitting that subscribe button.